The week of March 9th through the 15th, we do have a tie for second place.
Yes, we have three of them: Faith Schuster,
Christy Herman,
and Paige Wheeler. Great job.
Congratulations to the three of you. We have one person in first place. A big congratulations goes to Carol Bosmani. You will receive a 6-pack of AO Scan sample passes. Great job. Thanks everyone for being here, and let's continue on with the call.
So if you're stuck in a rut with your AO scan, you're feeling like maybe you might need to take a couple months off, maybe you're not using it as often as you do, I like to set alarms on my phone for different things during the week. I'm bad at doing my affirmations, so I actually set alarms to do that as a good reminder, because it's very easy for me to do things like easy scan and when I'm walking, listen to inner voice, but don't be afraid to, set little goals for yourself. I've made more mistakes than everyone, so rest assured that you will not be alone when you start thinking you're a disaster, but actually you're not. I see every day people using the scanners who are more adept at using the scanners than a lot of my doctors. So just aim to be that person. I think my biggest business advice is to scan as many people as you can. If you are not confident in reading the results, that doesn't matter. You explain that on the front end of things. I'm not going to be able to tell you everything, what every value is. No, none of our doctors could do that. So what I'm going to tell you is there's a before value and an after value, and you're always going to end up better. So start there, look for patterns. It's super simple, and just have confidence in yourself. I don't like to compare myself to others or others to myself, because we all have different structures. I solely do an AO scan business. That's all I do. So for anyone who is in a position, if they're, being a doctor 3 days a week, they're not going to have the same amount of time. So please don't compare yourself to people who are doing something totally different. So if you were going to do what I do, you'd be working 7 days a week. Not full time, but boy, I put down the phone to answer my chats and stuff like that. I think AO Scan is easy if you apply it to what you're good at. So I have my strengths and weaknesses, just like anyone else. So find what you're good at and how you can get the word out. Maybe it's through your gym, maybe it's through your doctor's office, or maybe it's online, or maybe, it's a community center. I say figure out where you can get in front of people and just get in front of them. So this is in my backyard. We're here in the Dominican Republic. I am on the Solex Caribbean cruise. Thank you, Solex, for so much. This is a great opportunity, and I hope all of you are here in Jamaica with me next year, because I'm shooting for it.
I am Ty Larson, and I am here to talk to you about something that I love doing, and that is to talk to you about your problems. No, what I really mean is to talk to you about solutions to problems that many of us face. So let's start by talking about something that actually can become a problem in many of our lives, but it's something that many of us don't think about every day. In fact, this something that we don't think about every day affects millions of us every day, even just here in the United States. I'm talking about parasites. One definition puts this familiar term as an organism that lives on or inside another different organism, the host, and it feeds on its food and nutrients that host provides at that host's expense, often causing harm and other troubles. We often picture them as something that you get from far away, something while you're on an exotic traveling trip or through bad water overseas, or something else less clean and more third world-like in nature. But the truth is, they're far more common in the United States and places like the United States than most of us realize. In fact, the CDC tells us that millions of Americans are dealing with parasitic infections on the daily, often without even knowing. More than 60 million people carry an aggressive toxoplasma parasite. And that's like 11 to 12% of folks that are over the age of 6. Pinworms, about 40 million people, especially in homes with kids, have to deal with this challenge. The classic signs are itching and restless nights that many parents hear about all the time from their kids. Giardia, the most reported intestinal parasite, causes over 1 million illnesses every year, often from water sources like streams or lakes, or even occasional tap issues that we experience throughout the United States. And overall, studies show that 5 to 30% of the general population may have at least one detectable intestinal parasite at any given time. These aren't rare, dramatic cases. For most everyday people, they're just subtle. They're quiet. They're sneaky. You might notice persistent bloating after meals, gas that won't go away, irregular digestion, meaning constipation one day and things being a little too loose the next, unexplained fatigue even after a full night's sleep, brain fog, low energy that lingers, or just the general heavy feeling like your body isn't quite running smoothly. Many of us blame it on stress or diet or just getting older. But real people share these stories all the time. Things like, I just don't feel as vibrant. My gut never settles right. I'm tired no matter what. And exposure, it's part of normal daily life that we come across things that can expose us to parasites. Many of us have dogs or cats, pets that carry eggs in their feces, and they linger in the soil and in yards. And when we come across them, we pick them up. Fresh produce. A lot of us try and do a good job eating fresh produce. From global imports, unwashed vegetables can carry parasites. Undercooked meats. I like the rarer steak, right? Sushi. Shelby loves sushi, my wife. Those are notorious for being able to carry parasites. Water from hiking trails, untreated sources, and even in boiled water, notices those situations obviously give us exposure to parasites. Obviously, traveling, even on domestic trips, are not foolproof nor completely safe. Well, we all love our family, and many of us have children or even grandchildren. Guess what? Close contact with somebody who's carrying a parasite can transfer that parasite. In our busy, connected world, pets, outdoors, food, and low-level exposure all adds up, and it adds up for many of us. It sounds like bad news. But there is good news. You don't have to live with this exposure just because or just by chance. Check this out.
There is a story told in steam and sunlight, written in botanicals gathered with care. From the wisdom of old world apothecaries comes a blend crafted with precision. One cup, one moment, and your day begins anew. Steeped in tradition, crafted for modern renewal.
You can support your body gently, proactively, and regularly, and that's where Solix's AO Cleanse Tea comes in. It's not a harsh cleanse or a cure. It's a soothing ritual. It's a warm cup of tea that you steep in warm water or hot water for 5 to 15 minutes, 1 to 2 times a day, and it's crafted with time-honored herbs from traditional wisdom to proven research over centuries that help the body stay ahead of these unwanted guests. Solix's blend includes a powerful core of black walnut hull, wormwood, and cloves as the classic trio. When you look at black walnut closely, the jawlone in it, which has been lab and animal studied and tested, shows to have a strong anti-parasitic activity against worms and other parasites. Traditionally, it's also a laxative that helps support the removal of those parasites. Wormwood has in vitro and animal research that has showed an anti-parasitic ability to kill and eliminate parasites. A small human study reported about 70% symptom relief and clearance in infection cases. It's a classic dewormer for roundworms and pinworms. Cloves contains eugenol, active against parasite eggs and larvae in lab and animal models, helping break down the lateral lifestyle so they don't perpetuate even if you've attacked the parasite. Traditionally, it aids in digestion and reduces bloating. To help with expulsion, removing of the unwanted guests, we included pumpkin seed and papaya leaf. Pumpkin seed paralyzes worms, and a 2012 study showed 89% expulsion for tapeworms. And it's nutrient dense with zinc and magnesium, so it's got additional support. Traditionally, it's been used for tapeworms and roundworms. Papaya leaf enzymes aid in the protein breakdown, and in a 2007 pilot study on seeds showed that 77% parasite clearance in children versus 17% in the controls. It supports digestion and is anti-inflammatory as well. Garlic, an ingredient in our blend, brings a broad range of antimicrobial properties. Research shows potential success against Giardia and other parasites, boosting immunity along the way. Worms hate garlic per traditional use, and so they want to get out of the environment. Then the comfort part of the supportive herbs. Ginger, peppermint, hibiscus, lemon peel, rosemary, and red clover. Ginger is clinically studied for nausea and its anti-inflammatory effects. Some research shows antimicrobial properties against parasites. It stimulates digestion traditionally and naturally. Peppermint has strong evidence for relaxing the GI spasms and IBS relief, which allows for a more gentle expulsion in the process. Essential oils show anti-parasitic potential as well in other studies. In addition, they help reduce cramping and offer support for a refreshing taste. Hibiscus also offers in vitro research anti-parasitic activity against things like tapeworms, and is also rich in antioxidants. It supports liver detox and blood pressure traditionally, so obviously there are other benefits added here as well. And it does support the tart flavor, if you notice that in or when drinking this tea. Lemon peel provides vitamin C and a pectin for gut barrier support. In animal studies, it has shown this and proven this. It aids in immunity and digestion as well. It is fresh and it's supportive with the flavor support that it gives to the overall tea experience. Rosemary is antimicrobial, showing anti-parasitic effects in research as well. Additionally, it aids in digestion. And as an added benefit, it aids in memory as well. Red clover has isoflavones for hormonal balances, traditionally a blood purifier for detoxing and lymphatic support. But what we do find, it also has a mild diuretic effect. This team together is targeting the parasites to disrupt them and to gently remove them in a smooth transition away from the body. All are natural botanical supports, wildly harvested, and every batch is tested for safety to deliver a purity and an efficacy. How do you use it? Well, it's pretty simple. You take 1 sachet and you put it into 8 to 10 ounces of hot water. You can do it for 10 to 15 minutes, but if you're first starting, my recommendation would be to start slower. Meaning, if you're really sensitive, maybe only steep it for 5 minutes. The rule being the longer you steep it, the more potently rich it becomes. You can drink 1 to 2 cups daily when you're doing this in a routine, but certainly no more than 15 cups in succession. You may do this as a 1 to 2 week cycle, depending on how often you take those cups, but then you should rest. Again, you should start slow if you're sensitive especially. Stay hydrated in the processes. If things get too loose in the expulsion, we want you to pause. We want you to take a break. Listen to your body. Rest for a week and then resume again. AO Cleanse is not something that replaces any other part of the Solex ecosystem when it comes to the gut. Use your AO scan, listen to your body needs. You can learn about parasites and the frequency of parasites in your system, and that helps. Some of us use it regularly, like monthly, in order to make sure that we're regularly removing parasites from our system, just in case we're being exposed. But that doesn't take the place of the other parts, like AO Gut. AO Gut is a wonderful daily fiber support with the green additives to support the strength of the environment in the gut. You can use other tools, though, to further support not only attacking the parasites, but the gut's performance in removing them. AO Infinity Wand is a great external application to add to the routine. AO Detox, another gut support, is more of a periodic reset, something that I use quarterly. So if you think of it, AO Detox is a quarterly use. AO Gut is something that I would use daily. AO Cleanse is something for targeted parasite use, and I would use it monthly. And then I would use the external applicator of the terahertz wand on my digestive system to support when I'm trying to remove the parasites. Also consider AO essential oils. Things like peppermint and lemon oils not only enhance the aroma, but they also support the process. Of course, we always recommend to consult with your doctor first, especially if you're pregnant, nursing, or on medications, or have any other specific health conditions that you're treating. This is a supportive herbal wisdom, not a pharmaceutical treatment. Wormwood and cloves especially are short-term, periodic things that you should use. And so that's why we say, if you've used the entire 15 bags in the AO Cleanse tea product, you should really take a break for a month and then resume. So if this makes sense to you, if the idea of attacking the parasites, attacking the eggs, and then expulsion, removing everything from the body is what you're in for, you'll find that AO Cleanse is unique in the market that place. A lot of other parasite cleanses do a great job attacking the parasite or creating an environment where the parasites don't want to be. Others attack the eggs and the results of the parasites so that they don't continue to exist. AO Cleanse Tea is here for you in order to make life better, life lighter by attacking the parasites, their posterity, and getting them out of the body so that you can resume your everyday realities in a way that feels better, feels lighter, and doesn't have any unexplained nuisances in the way of you being your best every day.
Hi everybody, I'm here to talk to you about why combining gold with cleanse is so important. I like to start with gold because that has fulvic and it has humic acid, and there are over 70 electrolytes and minerals in there, so it can really help balance your body. I love to do that before I introduce any type of cleanse. So if you do that for 30 days, you'll see amazing results. You can just get a little glass of water, pop it in there, or tea, whatever. I'm kind of a wimp when it comes to things that don't taste good, so I like to put it in like mint tea or something like that. But you can choose whatever you like to put it in and just down the hatch. 30 days, and it will just help rebalance everything in your gut and all your organs and your whole body. And then you can introduce our new tea. It's really fabulous because it's going to help with all the parasites in our body. I know we don't like to talk about parasites, yet it's very important because we all have parasites whether we know it or not. In fact, it used to be a practice when people lived on farms that everyone, animals and humans, would go on a parasite cleanse at least twice a year. And we just are not an agriculture community anymore, so we tend not to do parasite cleanses. But this tea is amazing. It has so many things. It's black walnut, wormwood, clove.